This tutorial will show you how to create queries with derived variables. Let me go ahead and log in first here. Derived variables are based upon existing variables within your SAS dataset, but then they're derived from an algorithm. So, for example, let's say if I were to choose on a dataset such as demographics here for DMOG, and then I go into query and build a new query where the list of variables here originally come from the data set that I've selected. So if I were to zoom in, you can see that in this case, the data set I'm working with is the DM, and these variables are from the CETA standards, some of the variables from the demographics data set. So if I were to impute or derive a new variable, I can create more meaningful queries. So let me go back and show you how to do that. To do that, I go into this Add Derivation button here. And when you do that, it shows you the list of variables underneath with the option of creating a new variable. So let's call this new variable, I don't know, unique study ID or something like that. This is just a fictitious new variable name. But in this case, I take the study ID and then I'm going to concatenate it with another variable. Let's say, for example, the domain. And then I'm going to click on this Add button and concatenate it once more with maybe the subject ID. How about I call it unique patient or subject study ID. This is just a fictitious example, but what it's doing is it's going to concatenate three different variables together to derive at a new variable that could be used in a different way than what the original three variables were separately. So if I were to click OK here, you can see that there's this new variable created, and it has the identifier as being derived, and you can see that it's listed among the other variables here. So if I were to click on the Browse button here, it would browse that data, that newly derived variable. So the original variable may have had the word CDISC and then the domain DM and then the subject ID. It's all concatenated into one variable now, or one value. So I can select these two values, for example, and selecting more than one, you have to use a specific parameter. I think my current operator is equal to. So let me just select 1 here. So this example shows me that I'm deriving a brand new variable, and then I am going to force it to only have this value in order to apply my subset criteria. I can, of course, do an additional criteria here. For example, from that population, I can choose the sex to be all females, for example. So once I have those compound expression built with an AND, I can click on OK, and this query is going to be applied. Notice I've narrowed down my data set to only have this one conditional return value. So if I zoom in, you can see that the criteria is based upon a new derived variable having this value along with an existing normal variable with the value of female. So if I go back, I can show you that I can derive additional variables, as many as I want. So if I go and click on the Add button once again, you can see that the previous derivation is listed underneath here. So if I select on that derivation, it will bring back all of the selections that I've done before. But in addition, I can create a new derivation. Let me create something new. For example, I can concatenate. One thing to note is that if it's a numeric value, I can perform arithmetic kind of computations among the numeric values. This is a CDIS data set, so there are not too many numeric variables. I just have a whole bunch of character variables here. So let me just concatenate race and maybe ethnicity and maybe country. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I can call it new ethnicity, new ethnic as a derivation here, and then click on OK. Now if I were to go back to that derivation once again, you can see that I have two derived variables now. One is the subject ID, and the other one is the ethnic one. So depending on my selection, it would show my my derivation below. And then from that, you can select those derivations from the query as if they're another SAS variable.